Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 2176th day of continuous webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Today, our guest is Dr. VEENA from Hyderabad. Let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you all. The International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy comprises of homeopathic lovers, students, and doctors, and we have 3 sessions every day. The first session of the day is already over in Hindi from 7:30 to 8:30. From 8:30 to 9:30, we have the international session in English, and from 9:30 to 10:30, we have a local language session in Malayalam. We are uploading the videos of the same on the very next day itself so that those who miss the session can watch it again. You can subscribe the same without paying any money. You can share it with anyone who loves homeopathy. The purpose of this forum, as you all know, is to take homeopathy to every home. That means that still there are homes they don't have exposure to homeopathy. So we will have to take them to homeopathy back. And as you all know that homeopathy is the second largest system practicing around the world. So we will have to move forward for gaining the first point in the systems. And today our guest is Dr. VEENA. As you know, she is one of our regular faculty. She used to take a lot of good sessions. All the sessions were exemplary, brilliant ones. And she is practicing at Hyderabad, even though she belongs to Kerala. Now she's settled at Hyderabad and doing wonderful job there in Hyderabad. So let us welcome Dr. VEENA for a brilliant session in this evening. Welcome, Doctor.
Good evening to all. Thanks for the warm welcome, sir. And a big congratulations to you for a lot of awards been received by you. We are very happy that to be a part of IFPH. I first of all thank you for giving me one other opportunity to be here in IFPH for presenting 2 cases on gestational anamnesis. Let me share the screen.
Yes.
Is the screen visible, sir?
No. The screen is not yet uploaded. You may. Yes, now it is coming.
Yes. Yes. So first of all, my deep gratitude to homeopathy and Dr. Hanneman. So I dedicate this session to my gurus. My first guru, Dr. Jyoti Ramlingam sir, because of whom I studied homeopathy and I am here today. So he was a great person. At my 8 years, he treated me for a viral disease where I had a lot of eruptions in my face. If it had been not homeopathy, not treated with homeopathy, my face would have been with full of scars. But that's what I believe. So he was a great person who introduced homeopathy to our family and treated me successfully for a viral disease. And because of whom I'm being here, I'm very grateful to this person. And when I say why I dedicate this session to Dr. Jyoti Ramlingam sir is because um, we lost him this year, and he has donated his physical body for a medical college, for an anatomy lab, for the students to learn. So I think this to be revealed to the entire world so that we get to know about great people like sir. My pranams to sir, and I dedicate this session to my friend Dr. Rajeshwari, whom I lost very recently. So she is one other great support for me during my college days. Gratitude to all my teachers, gurus, my college teachers, and my college also. Thank you. Thank you for the IFPH platform also. I will take 1 second to mention about this small baby girl of Kerala, baby Alin Sherin Abraham, whom we know by her. Because of her, there are few lives. um, Light has been thrown to few lives. She has donated her organs to some of the people, and she has thrown light to their lives. So love is not measured in years, but in what we leave behind. So this girl, just a 10 months old girl, became immortal because of the deed what she has done. Though she disappeared from world, but she has given life to many. There is a saying in Tamil from the Sangha literature where they say, நல்லார் ஒருவர் உளரேல் அவர் பொருட்டு எல்லோருக்கும் பெய்யும் மழை. What does it mean? Means if but one noble person remains in this world, the heavy cloud bow down to rain. If but one noble person remain, the heavy clouds bow to rain. How well said it is. So baby like Alin, people like Dr. Jyotiramlingam, Dr. Rajeshwari, who has given their soul and blood and sweat to people by practicing the right homeopathy, by giving lives to them. They have really helped so many people. The empathy, what they have shared to the entire world, is a note to be remembered by all. So here, every single day, every possible way, create impact. So every homeopath should have this in mind. Everybody, every human being should have this in mind so that they create impact in whatever possible ways. Be it very simple, minimal, where like the squirrels help done while making the Rama Setu. We can also create impact in everybody's life, or at least some people's life. So create impact the every possible way, every simple way we can. So with this thought, I would like to go to the session. So we are going to discuss about gestational anamnesis, homeopathic possibilities. What is this? So fetal programming under chronic positive states. So when the mother is happy during the antenatal period, what does it bring to the baby? So there is a healthy blood flow to the placenta, to the child, the, where it is filtering out the cortisol and passing the oxytocin, the love hormones, and the BDNF to pass through, so that the child is getting a program where it is helping the child to be resilient. Then cardiovascular is the beats are very regular, effective, and rhythmic, and soft and happy. Immunity, adaptive immune response, enhanced cognitive abilities. Then it gives a maternal anchor. It is the oxytocin and serotonin biological feedback loop for safety. The child is very happy. This is the positive state um, of ANC, of the mother gives to the baby. So this we have heard in a lot of mythology. So like we know about this Prahlad Maharaj, who was in womb, always heard the Lord Narayana's Nama and was very, felt very safe and happy. So he has imbibed the Nama, Lord's Nama in the womb itself. So he carried a positivity in his life. So whatever dangers his father put also, he just had the trust of the God, because this has been imprinted when from the time he has been in the womb. Then we have the story of Abhimanyu, where The mother heard stories of the war and about the Chakravyuha. So he had the blueprint in the womb itself to enter the Chakravyuha, the ability, the braveness to enter it. So all these things we have heard about positive stories. These are about the positive stories. So let's just take these mythological stories, and we are already aware that the mother, the status of mother to be positive, how it is good to um, impact on the child or on the child's entire life tomorrow. So, the story of Prahlada highlights the ancient understanding that auditory and emotional stimuli penetrate the womb, shaping the child's foundational beliefs and spiritual resilience before birth. And the story of Abhimanyu illustrates the concept of in utero learning and tactical memory retention. The emotional and cognitive states of the mother are directly imprinted onto neurological development. So, what do we understand? These ancient narratives perfectly mirror modern clinical discoveries in fetal neuroplasticity and epigenetic programming. So, so only the positive emotions bypass to the child. Would it go to the child? No. The maternal instincts, negative or positive, it will have impact on the fetus. Just I have just made a video on this where the mother is crying, the sorrow, the black clouds, the blooming, what she has is just going to the child, and the child it is transferring to the next generation. So it is not only the uh, blueprint or the genetics is inherited, the emotions are also inherited, or at least having an impact on the fetus. So, what is this? So, how does it impact? What happens? So, as we saw, when it is a positive neurochemistry, it is building the resilience. When it is a negative distress, what happens? When there is a chronic stress and worry, the mother becomes hyper vigilant, and she becomes detached from the world. She becomes very curious what is happening. Her cortisol levels are high and her serotonin is low. So there is an imbalance in the neurotransmitters. This is transferred to the child. What happens if she is fear and anxious? The racing thoughts, the restlessness, the fear, the anxiety increases the norepinephrine, and there is a low serotonin. Again, there is an imbalance in the neurotransmitter that is getting transferred to the child. What if she is angry and impulsive? So this reduced patience and immediate reactivity, and the after effects because of the impatience and reduced reactivity will increase the dopamine surge, and there is a low serotonin. So what happens? There is again an imbalance between the neurotransmitters. This is again transferred to the fetus. What if she is feeling forsaken, deserted, and she is in long-standing grief? Then it is the apathy and the isolation which is passed to the child, wherein the oxytocin there is a deficiency, and there is a low dopamine, and there is a high cortisol, and there is again an imbalance created to the mother, and then it is getting transferred to the child also. So there is a transfer of negative emotions, and thereby there is a irregularity of the neurotransmitters, and thereby having an impact on the child. This is getting transferred to the child in the child's entire life. So according to the sensitivity of the child will also have problems accordingly. So that is how the child develops its traits and also its behavior and also diseases later on in its life. So, is it only the congenital diseases which is getting a direct impact from the mother. Rest all is only the circumstances in this earth. No. So if we see any disease or any behavioral aspects in the child has an um, connection between the mother's antenatal history and the fetus development, and thereby an aftereffect in the child's life, not only in the early lives until the child is continuing its life. And some of the negative things may get carried to the next generation as well. So the blueprint versus expression, that is the genetics and the epigenetics. Just we'll have a small brief about what is this. So the genetics is nothing but the DNA, which is carrying the traits like how the child look like, how the personality would be, and what is uh, hair color, texture, eyes, everything, and also the disease and tall, short, all these personality traits are in the DNA. Whether what should be expressed, umpteen number of genes from the mother and father, what is getting expressed, whether the dominant gene or the not so dominant or a recessive gene, this is through the epigenetics, that is the gene expression control. So dynamically responds to the environment without changing the sequence. So the sequence is the same, but there are some proteins or few modification in the histone which is going to get expressed in the child. So this has a switch on and off capability according to the circumstances by which the child or a person is there. So it is a continuous change. So we can't say like if some gene is expressed, whether it is going to continue or it is going to break the chain. So this is decided by the environment and how deeply it has impacted the genetic engineering. Accordingly, it will express itself. So the blueprint versus the epigenetic. The epigenetic mechanism acts as the software that controls which genetic alleles are expressed or silenced. So this we have to understand. So let's go to the first case without much delay. So this is a case where this is a person, this is a small child, 16-year-old, who is very brilliant, extrovert, very pleasant, always happy, highly social, making friends faster, very talkative, very presentable. This is the child. This child developed astigmatism and myopia since the age of 10. Then this child, at the age of 16, during the COVID time, diagnosed with an asymptomatic atrophic hole in the retina, in the right eye. So this is the pathology with which the child has come. Now, when I take the history, the child doesn't have any symptoms except it is wearing a specs and it is hair, healthy, very happy child. So, how to get the symptoms? Now, when I asked the mother, a lot of history is there. The mother said her antenatal period was very stressful uh, for many reasons. She felt that she wanted to escape and she was worried how the child will be born, and she had a lot of circumstances, and she was in the constant vigil that some danger will come or some attack is happening around her. This is how she has perceived. So by this one perception, do we think the person or the mother has some psychological problem? No, because she is also hale and healthy. She is doing her all normal routines normally. She is just carrying a child. And she has some circumstances which her mind has perceived this way, that it is an attack against her and there is some danger. And she has to be always in the vigil. This is transferred to the child. So this child has got fear of thunderstorms deep insecurity, expressing um, this expression came actually later, that we'll talk about later. So just we'll have a thought process about when is the retina, optic nerve, and optic chiasm, and the eye related vision, visual cortex, all these things get developed, and why this antenatal history or the gestational analysis is more important here, because there is no symptoms. Now, how to go about this case? Now, how do we treat? Only with the spear of action? No. So we got the history. Now some history is there. So what to take? What is relevant in the mother to take and see whether it is going to help the child, or how the child's visual cortex or the retina got developed, and what is the problem in the making. Is it only the mother responsible? Definitely not. But her situation is responsible, wherein the mother and all her relatives are in the loop. So, however, whether she felt it insecure or they gave an environment insecure, but this has made an impact on the child. So, how? So, this development. So, when we take antenatal history, we have to know that the 3 months is the anatomical development. So the fetus develops, the cell divides, it is converted into organs, then the physiology setting in, then sense organs are getting developed. So this is how. Now this mother has got a supervisual programmed ANC throughout, from the first month till the birth also. So this is a normal delivered child, and the child is having this problem. So we will just have a note about the embryology of retina. So 4 to 6 weeks, the neural tube closure and optic vesicle formation is there. In 7 to 10 weeks, cortical plate formation and neuronal migration is happening. 12 to 16 weeks, afferent arrival and subplate interaction, visual cortex develop. So see, this 16 weeks are in the anatomical development. Then there is the physiology setting in. Then by 27 weeks to 32 weeks, there is functional connectivity and synaptogenesis. Early functional visual responses predicted at this time. So the clinical insight is the structural integrity of the retina is programmed early in gestation, making it highly susceptible to the maternal biochemical environment, cortisol, during this critical weeks. So what happened? So there is a chronic gestational stress. So this is like the thunderstorms. This the child expressed also. Even now, this child has a fear of thunderstorms. Then there is a complete surge of cortisol, and there is a complete depletion of the serotonin throughout the ANC period. Hypervigilance programming happen across the placental barrier, and there is a hypervigilance programming to the child. Child has also received these signals. So now the child is hypervigilant, but after 2 to 3 years, like when the child is in college by 19 years, when I see, he's on continuous treatment. First, I gave because the child is mingling, happy, very pleasant, intelligent, quick, and magnetized desire to be. All these things, first two words passed for us, and I was giving only phosphorus. Now, the child is 19 years old, and though we are attending the pathology, he expressed like there is heightened threat perception manifesting as with perceptions. Like he is saying the friends or the college mates who are around him, they're behaving like snakes. See how he is perceiving. They are also children of his same age group. Probably they will also behave differently, but he is perceiving it as toxic, like snakes, like he is becoming hyper vigilant. So this is heightened hypervigilance. So the maternal expression experience of fear of attack from unknown directions, and the child's expression, how it is bridged vivid perception of snakes in the environment. This is how the child is perceived. So now what we have to do? There is a symptom totality, there is a symptom picture and pathology, and there is a metri medica, remedy profile, and pathogenesis. Now, what is the bridge in between the simile? That is the homeopathic simile. So now, so the retinal reflection, that is the gestational anamnesis. Throughout the ANC period, the mother was under constant severe stress, feeling continuously attacked from unknown, invisible directions. The pediatric manifestation was the pathology, myopia, astigmatism, and an atropic hole in the right eye, deep insecurity, expressing a specific delusion that the classmates around him are like snakes. The maternal feeling of unpredictable attack, epigenetically imprinted as a specific rubric, delusions, imaginations, snakes in and around her. So we have famous remedies like argentum nitricum, calcarea, hyos, lacaninum, lachesis, opium, phytolacca, and stramonium. There is nosotes like tuberculinum also. So now the child, what to give? The physical manifestation localized to the embryological tissue of the eye, requiring remedies for detachment or degeneration of the retinas, apis, aurum, gelsemium, and phosphorus. Now, what to select? One rubric is giving phosphorus, the other rubric is giving some other remedies, totally different. So, how to bridge this? Now, I have already given phosphorus, he is doing fine, but the link is missing here. So the phosphorus may be partially indicated or it is not covering one particular part, that is the hypervigilance insecurity in the mother. So I had a lot of confusion until 19 years. I didn't get the clue which rubric of the mother to be taken. He was telling escape desire to be, want the freedom, and all those things. I was literally confused whether to take some detachment rubrics or something related to libertinism, freedom, and all those rubrics. But the link is evident now. So now see, eye detachment retina, we have the phosphorus, and degeneration, we have phosphorus. So the common link here is fear of the attack, which any of the phosphorus, maybe the calcarea, nitrum, magphos, or the caliphos should cover. So here, or the zincum phos. But here, no symptomatology which is connecting zincum or natrum to this child. So I picked calcarea phos here because the mother is insecure, child is also insecure. Both the remedies have that magnetic desire to be, magnetized desire to be. And that is why the child is hyper mingling, very social, but still feeling the insecurity that people around are like snakes. Or there is a toxic environment. So this calcarea phos, after giving calcarea phos, now every 6 months they are asked to come for a review. And now by this second year, um, we have seen a progress. Like now, it's still remaining asymptomatic, and they have given a follow up after 1 year. So it's a good sign because when they diagnosed it, they were expecting some floaters or detachment happening sooner. But when we get the right remedy, the prognosis, see, though it is not evident, it is there. That is why they have given a 1 year period for the follow-up. Now we have to see. So already became made whole, whether it is will heal or the disease will not progress and stay like this, or any other compensatory mechanism will happen. All these things we have to know. Then how to assess the prognosis now? Now the only prognostic tool here is about the hypervigilant, insecure nature of the child. So after the third or fourth follow-up, now the child learn not to be hypervigilant. Now he is mingling with people with open-mindedness. So that is a progress. We are still to witness how this case is progressing. So the link, the bridge between the epigenetics and the present pathology is very important to counter with homeopathic medicine. So this is a beautiful AI picture of an antenatal mother. So, if the mother is so happy in the outdoors, having positivity, then the child slowly will have a positive thought. Still, there are challenges in the environment, and according to the sensitivity of the child, because the sora is always there, anything might come. But the epigenetics has a better um, bouncing back mechanism or resilient mechanism to fight with the challenges. Like this child bounced back very faster with the environment and became healthy pursuing the environment. So, just a thought like cultivating the optimal environment. Bas, so basking the sunshine. So, being ready for the light, which is for the body, all to the mind as well. In motion, there's some amount of exercise, prenatal exercise. And even in the children, we have to promote some form of exercise, some form of agility and refusing harm should not be any addictions or toxins. When we say addictions, it should not be for the screen time also. So addictions is not only for the drugs and other things. It now we have to see what we are consuming. That is through the eyes, through the ears, through the food, through the inhalation, everything. So you have to um, refuse all the harming toxins or the addictive uh, consumings. Now, what has become now since we are in this internet world, AI world, we are being exposed to the social media and everything, and now we have become constant consumers. So we have to know how to refuse, say no to all these things. Tempering all in moderation. So no addiction, keep it in moderation. That means we can't say a 100% no to AI and everything. Now, even the classrooms have become digital. So now we can't say 100% no, but we can keep in moderation. Temper everything to moderation, be it food, be it consumption of the screen time, be it emotions, anything. Then hydrating well, the antenatal mother or the normal human being, the children, always educate them to hydrate well, how much the body needs. Don't ignore your thirst, ignore your hunger. Don't overdo with food and water. So keep in moderation and be thankful and trusting. Be grateful to what you have and believe in the divine. So nurturing environments foster resilience and acting as the protective vessel against external turbulence. So now, does it only the antenatal, as we told, is this only the genetic imprint which is bothering the child? No, the epigenetics also. So the favoring environments about epigenetics, if we take, we have again stories from the mythology. So the story of birth of Lord Krishna. Just see, he was born in one mother, and he's been immediately shifted to the Yashoda Maya, and see how he transformed himself. So he was born in a prison, in a hypervigil situation, but brought up by a mother um, who is Yashoda in a very safe environment, and how he has grown. Though he is a lord, he just was nurtured like a human being. How positive his Vrindavan was, and how he has built in Dwarka. Then we have one more child, not only Lord Krishna. So we may say it is Lord Krishna. That is why he bounced back against all the tough situations. What about the Karna, the abandoned Karna? I mean to say, he was abandoned in the river, and somebody who is very poor, who is a charioteer, has taken the child, and now he evolved as a king. What did he do as a king? He was donating. He was a contributor. He was giving everything. He had a selfless. How he has um, grown, transformed himself as an abandoned child to a king with luxury, but with no rudeness, but with a selfless attitude, to have the charity in that mind, always giving. So, how is this possible? It's because of the mother and the parents, the father who has took him, and the environment, his friend, though we say Duryodhana, but he felt safe with his friend. That is how he became a king, and he donated relentlessly. This generosity, from where he picked it, is because of the epigenetics. The archetype of Karna, from wound to grace, from abandonment to giving. So the shadow, epigenetic imprint, the pain of early abandonment and systemic neglect, a deep-seated need for constant external validation and appreciation. How did we outgrow this? Clinging to the past grievances and unnecessary memories of the slides. Didn't he have that? Whether how why did his mother abandon him? He always had that in mind. But what did he drive himself with? With the past thoughts? No. He is into the transformation, channeling the trauma of neglect into becoming a gracious giver, transforming profound insecurity into unwavering generosity and loyalty. How did he outgrow this? Now, as a very famous saying goes, like, you can only imagine the future, can always dwell on the past, good, bad, everything. But you can only feel the present. Feel the present. He had a generous wealth, generous attitude. He started giving. He got to understand, when I'm getting, when I'm in the receiving end, I will have traumas. When I'm in the giving end, I'm a blessed soul. I can feel when I contribute to somebody, like how our Jyotiramalingam sir is donated his body, is contributing to the medical students. So that generosity, it is like giving lights to many. It's giving blessings to many. It's giving learnings to many. So this is what Karna's life teaches. So the epigenetics is far more important. As so, if somebody is longing for that love, so be, besides you long for it, you start giving. You will experience that bliss. So it's about the generosity. If you don't have wealth, you have kind words. You have kind words, a smile, the famous chocolate ad comes, like how you smile, a simple smile that enriches everybody around you, to show their teeth also, to emit that neurotransmitters outside. It is not the screen time which is going to give that um, endorphins or the positive neurotransmitters. It is about the smile, the happiness also. So let's go to the second case. This is more about the epigenetics, I have to say. So it's about the imprint and the epigenetics. So the second case, again a 16-year-old suffering from convulsions. The aura is on the left ear, triggered by difficulty in exams or some public appearance. This child is very timid, yields to bullying, always getting hurt about because of the environment. They are like, the outside is like monsters for him, seeking appreciation, longing for that, which is what this child is missing. So initially, when I took this case, the remedies I tried was gelsemium, argentum nitricum, all superficial. But there is some blueprint or imprint in this child which I left in the initial. See, when the patient comes, we are also like unable to penetrate. their history. When you ask the mother, they give a superficial history. When you ask the child, it will just doesn't know. See, they are being brought up by allopathy, and they are conditioned to give only the superficial symptoms. Very difficult to penetrate every case. So, whenever homeopathy fails, I deeply think that it is the penetration. That time has not come to penetrate deep into the history, wherein to catch hold of the right link between the pathology and between the rubric or the symptom or the metri medica, wherein we are going to bridge it with the right symptom to give the effective remedy. So the gestational anamnesis. So after 1 or 2 years, this child initially got only the left aura trauma and just was like becoming hyper vigil and was screaming, shouting, crying. So more like psychological symptoms instead of neurological symptoms. But 2 years down the line, after all the medicines given by allopaths also, it has been suppressed. There is a temporal scar. So now the pathology is deep. Now we don't know like why it is going like this, what we have to attend here. So when I take the history, when I got to know this child has a deep trauma. He lost his grandfather at the age of 10. Why grandfather? Why it is having impact? Because mother was transferred and she was working in a different place. The child was brought up more in the grand grandparents' house. So this mother moved on little later because she had applied for transfer and it was pending. So this child was grown by the grandparents in the majority times, and he was along with the grandparents. And at his 10 years of age, this grandfather expired, and the child was stuck in that hurt, in that neglect. People were around him, all are nurturing, but still he felt that insecurity. From where he got this? Just from the mother. Mother had lost her father at her 1 year of age. See how poor the condition is. The mother had no father in her entire life. So that was an insecurity. She had a bonding with the father in law also. Now the child has got the transformation from the mother in the womb itself. Now the opportunity has come. The storm has come. So it has bloomed out. The syphilis has bloomed out and he started getting convulsions. Now, slowly after the medicines, the initial MRI, it was normal. Nothing was found. Later, 2 years after, MRI showing a left temporal scar. See, this scar, the wound, the hurt because of the grandfather's missing is there in the temporal lobe. This is the metaphoric relationship between the imprint epigenetics on the child. Now it is evident. Now the MRI shows sclerosis, that is the scar. So this is the physical scarring representing a long-standing unresolved emotional conflict manifesting as convulsions. So what happened to this child? The epigenetic trigger was the child separated from mother at age of 1, raised by the grandparents. So his secured environment is the grandparents and mother and father put together. So it is not a nuclear family. It is a whole joint family was his ecosystem. Now what happened? The echoes in the womb is being reflected as the mother's lost a father and the child's lost grandfather. It's like more of a father who has nurtured him. So this stuck emotionally and the precise point of loss, and he is in the loop. He is not out of it. So the left temporal lobe is the seat of verbal memory and emotional processing. Sclerosis indicates long-standing emotional conflict manifesting physically. So he is constantly asking for that validation, external validation, and always in the hypervigilant state because he is feeling insecure. So the fracture bond is separated from the mother, and mother had no father, and the core traumas. The grandfather passed away, the protector passed away, unable to process the grief, the consequence of the loss, the humiliation, what he is getting through the bullying in the school, driving him into a state of feeling unprotected and deeply envious. He's envious about his brother, about his cousins. Why? There is a neurological link. The left temporal lobe is the seat of verbal memory, and the scarring is the emotional scar of the loss of the grandfather. So, what all remedies? So, what all rubrics I took? I took atrophy, that is scar of the temporal region, then left-sided convulsions, delusion, smaller one is clinging mind and frightful delirium. All these things I narrowed down so many remedies. Argentum nitricum, palladium, natramure, lacosis, plumbermet, barreta. So, argentum nitricum, he is not hurried or impulsive. Palladium, he seeks attention, he is craving for that appreciation, but palladium cannot be silent, it is little arrogant. Here it is a yielding victim, and natramure, um, natramure is a closed off, he will build a wall. It is not like that, he is screaming, shouting for help. So, lacosis, um, again, it's left-sided. Patient should be loquacious, hot, and suspicious. It's not there. Emplumberment, very sharp memory. This child has a very sharp memory, very good in language, poor in math, acute memory of very sharp memory for unnecessary past events, good, bad, whatever, with dates. It's a very sharp memory. This is the unique nature, the peculiars of the child. So we have the Barretta. So the final content here, the child is needing a constant support, and that hidden behind the mother needs that mother or that father to be, and he doesn't go out of the routine. When we say he's very good in language, why? Because it's more about reciting back what is already available. More than creativity, it is the routinistic process in the language. So read something, remember it. He has already got the sharp memory. He can throw it out. But he can't do the analysis, math behind and give an output. So it is more about a routinistic behavior. So the synthesis is the misplaced Bharata. So what happened? He had good cognitive skills, but not analytic skills. He has good memory, but it is stuck in the loop of the grandfather and not putting in the right place. He is getting bullied. He is not fighting. He is just yielding to the bullying and again going to the shrinking state and again making more scars and more epilepsy. So the clinical paradox. So Pareto, if the child has an acute memory for dates and language, but the intelligence is routinistic. He is good at language, but struggles immensely with math, that is the dullness. Stuck in the childhood, clinging to the memory, clinging to the grandfather, clinging to the mother, terrified of change, completely dependent, feeling dwarf. The delusion, smaller one is the typical Barretta. Which Barretta? Now we have to see how he is presenting. He's presenting and as envious, egoistic. I'm not getting the appreciation, but he is not strong enough to fight there. And he has the sharp memory of the past. So I go by Barretta self. Before giving this medicine itself, so I don't know whether I will say it is a symptomatic simillimum thought process itself. This child who was struggling in the school and when he got admissions into the college, the moment I derived at Barretta's self, he made up his mind and he has put himself into a college for a language admission. See how it is. So now, this positive rewiring happens only through some epigenetic process. So now, wherever do you think only with simillimum it is all possible, or only with simillimum it's possible? We'll say epigenetics can be through multiple things. So the stress brain, if it has to rewire itself to a better brain, better neuroplasticity, then the hypervigilant amygdala, the emotions, which is overriding the prefrontal cortex, which is having the control, judgment, and controlling the mind wandering. These all, the hypervigilant amygdala is taking over in a unregulated brain. But it is when it's a regulated brain, when it is through meditation, there is a strong rewiring happening, wherein the amygdala shrinks, the prefrontal cortex takes up the role. So when the amygdala, even when there is a threat, there is a firing of amygdala. But since this is a shrink state, it again immediately the prefrontal cortex takes over. And if there is a regular meditation, there is a discipline, the muscle of the anterior cingulate gyrus, which becomes stronger, the insula becomes stronger, then what happens? The prefrontal cortex takes over, and it will control the emotions and give him a answer to fight back and be resilient with whatever environment, or to choose a better environment where he can stay safe. So both are um, either choosing or fighting. Both are good compensatory mechanism. If he is strong enough, he will fight back. If he is smart enough, he will put himself into a easy, comfortable environment and grow faster. So meditation, yoga, exercise, all these things, discipline, well-regulated discipline of a daily routine will definitely bring a change, a rewiring in the epigenetics, in the brain, and thereby make a person very resilient. High perseverance, can bounce back. So this is about the neurochemical nurturing toolkit. So what we have to do, we know, we talk a lot about dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, all these things. Everywhere in the social media, this is all available. But we keep ignoring. These, these neurotransmitters, they have to secrete in a balance. If one is high and it is depleting soon, and the other is not taking over, what will happen? Then you will go to a sober state. For example, when you keep changing the screens, when you keep seeing reels, what happens? There is a dopamine surge. But what happens? There is immediate depletion. There is a sober, depressed condition. So why it happens? Because the other transmitters are not there to regulate this. So the dopamine surge, depletion, surge, depletion. Again, it becomes an addiction. So like how drug is addictive, this screen time is an addiction. So what we have to do? So you have to put effort. So what is this dopamine? It's like wanting to do something, wishing to do something. That gives a dopamine surge. What is oxytocin? It is by bonding, believing in yourself, appreciating and be grateful to what we have. All these things boost the oxytocin levels. Must trust yourself. So you will hug yourself, you see, you feel confident. Why? Because when you love yourself, there is an oxytocin boom. So when you are in a crowd, in a herd, you feel safe. Social media is a crowd in a digital means. But when you're with real people, people are there to save you. You feel secure. So be with your own people. Don't go and push yourself in a fighting crowd. Push yourself in a very healthy crowd where you belong to. You feel happy. So oxytocin is there. Serotonin, it's a mood regulator. So this is through inner regulation. How do you get it? Go in the sunlight, eat outdoors, watch what you eat, consume what you see. Always have a watch on what you consume through the eyes, what you're doing. Always see when you are seeing having a screen time also, keep checking how many hours I'm doing it every day. At least we'll have one this vigilant activity from our end, a promise from today to write what is my screen time, what all I have seen. So at the end of the day, if you're unable to write even one good thing, what you've seen, then your screen time is utter waste. Your serotonin is not there. And if you're not sleeping in time because of the screen time, other things, definitely your serotonin is going to be imbalanced. Then the endorphins. Endorphins is the joy hormones. So how does it come? It comes because of the physical exercise. For the normal play group, go for a shuttle, for a walk, for a cocoa, for a handball, for a simple running or a hide and seek, anything, you feel happy. These endorphins are there in surface. So when you do some activity by taking an effort, there is a dopamine. Be it a simple activity, pushing yourself. So then there is a joy. Okay, I did it today. So I get the endorphins. So this should be in a circle. It should not be one surge and immediate depletion and taking you back to a very bad state. So the dual input. So today's takeaway is for the physicians, the gestational anamnesis, the recalling during the antenatal period, the recollection of the thought process during the antenatal period is a highly vital, significant diagnostic tool to identify the epigenetic triggers. Allows the practitioners to precisely translate the maternal stress into the pediatric pathology. Result highly precise, etiologically grounded homeopathic prescriptions. For parents possess the profound power to shape their child's biological landscape intentional. See, challenges are there. Parents are also parents. If my child is 20-year-old, I'm a 20-year parent only. So I need to intentionally learn how to stay positive. Challenges will be there. How to nurture the child, how to groom the child. There should be a constant watch on what I'm doing, whether I am carrying my imprints to my baby. I'm pushing my child to my expectations. This is directly regulating your fetal and your child's neurochemistry. So be positive. The result is building a resilient, perseverant, thriving epigenetic environment to the child. So the last future of the thread is for the parents and the practitioners, nurture the gestational environment with relentless positivity. You may go down, bounce back. First, you bounce back. First, love yourself and your child and watch the next generation bloom with grace, free from unhealed scars of the past. So, when we say scars, we are only about negativity. Think about the positive thing. Be grateful to what we have and appreciate yourself for all the smallest things what you do. Be the contributor to the world instead of being the consumer. So for the children, I repeatedly give all the children one message today. Look up from the screen to see the scene. Real, unwritten, and adventures are waiting for you outside. So also, you see to yourself, introspect what I am doing. Am I wasting my time or am I happy? So don't seek pleasure, seek bliss, seek happiness. When you give something, your time to your friends, to your parents, to your studies, to the society, you will get the bliss. You will get the real happiness. Pleasure will deplete. The next moment, when you set a goal, once you achieve or when you fail, that goal is vanished. But when you concentrate on the process, you're building something, you're giving something. When you help somebody, knowingly, unknowingly, just when you're contributing something, you'll always have the happiness that is will stay and your neurotransmitters will be aligned and your epigenetic environment will keep you healthy. Pathologies will be pushed back. So create impact every single day, every possible day, for whatever smallest means. I don't want us to pushing ourselves bigger things. So that's it for today. I'm very
Okay.
thank you for
Thank you.
the
Thank you, Dr. Veena, for such a wonderful session. And it really, this was one of your best sessions ever, I must say. So that you have narrated everything, and the slides are exemplary, brilliant ones, and that show the power of a woman to show the world that homeopathy can do or something different in such cases also. Anyway. And since there is no time for discussion, I am inviting Dr. Manoj to say a vote of thanks to the session. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Manoj. He's not responding.
മനോജ് ഡോക്ടർ ഉണ്ടോ? മനോജ് ഡോക്ടർ
No,
ഇല്ലെന്ന് ഇല്ല.
Dr. Dr. Shaila, you can say all the thanks. Yes, yes, doctor, you can say.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Dhanesh. Thank you, Dr. Veena, for a very nice presentation. With a gap, you are coming again.
My pleasure.
Okay, very nice presentation. So, thanking you on behalf of IFPH and my own. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shaila, and those who attend the English session this evening. A very big thanks and congratulations to Dr. Veena for such a wonderful session. Thank you all. Good night. Over to Dr. P. Shaila to moderate Malayalam session.